Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Podgy Carter on LFX Media, the podcast. I am here with my co-host.
It's your boy Antho, the great grow with Tho, all that good stuff, man. Happy to be here, brother. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir. Another day, another dollar.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
sir.
Another few dollars today. Thanks
Yeah,
to that goal. Look, thanks to that goal, another few dollars.
yeah. I know we're here to talk about the NBA and March Madness, but we have been posting and leading up to a course. So we'll go ahead and just throw that out there real quick. We got a trading course coming up real soon, maybe in the next 30 days or so. Well, what you got going on?
Currently, bro, trade wise, I'm in that gold versus dollar. It definitely took that nice old doji. And we
Hmm.
closed on the doji yesterday.
Hmm.
Perfect indicator for changing the market, and it immediately went the other way for about
Details at 11. We ain't going to tell them what a doji is.
right. Yeah, definitely took off, went the opposite way for about 200. We 200 units and running right now, so we up 200 pips up already.
200 pips up. Look at that. Look at God.
Yes, indeed.
So
Yes, indeed.
listen, it is so much going on in the NBA. We would be remiss if we didn't mention Ja, who he
Yeah.
had he had a little stumble up, but we discussed it and we talked about having publicists in charge of your social media and actually helping your brand, helping your brand do making mature moves because he's a young guy and the odds are against you. You know what I mean? A lot of guys come into the league, make millions, and lose millions. So we just want not to emphasize on anything toxic, but you know, by looking at mistakes that people make and trying to help, the ones that come behind that.
Yes, indeed, bro. Yes, indeed. We spoke on it last time with Pad. Shout out to the homie J Pad, one of our other co-hosts.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but one of my biggest things that I kept pushing was accountability of media, and I mean now us in particular, with us being able to control ourselves and what we digest and what we allow to stimulate us, just being more mindful and then allowing that to more so affect how we maneuver. Less toxic push out, less toxic movement. If you're consuming less toxic content, then you'll put out less toxicity into the world. So
Mm-hmm.
us just being more mindful, man. In general, and I think it's just what we find funny, what we find entertaining sometimes is uh sometimes to the detriment. But you know, in the end we live and we learn. Your homie only been legal to drink for like a year or two. So we really still talk about it, baby, if you want to keep it real. And I think he got a lot of room to grow. I think they say he gonna miss about another 4 games. I heard a report earlier on one of these.
Is that where we at?
Yeah, they say he gonna be away from the team for at least another 4 days, is what some report was released today. I want to say Uncle Shay Shay was
Mm-hmm.
speaking on that there, saying that at least another 4 days before he
Mm-hmm.
report to the team. So we shall see, man. All in all, I do think he definitely is not a lost cause. It's just a learning experience for him. He'll come out better
Yeah.
on the side.
Yep. And it's just not only a learning experience, it's just business wise, as a young guy, um, realizing that it's more than your NBA check that's being affected. You have kids that are following you they're mimicking everything you do, and then most importantly, you have endorsement deals that are outside of this NBA check that are affected.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You talk Nike, you talk, he just got his first signature shoe. I think
Hmm.
it's literally called the Ja One or something like that. I want to say, like,
Right.
you just started that, like you got years ahead of you, millions to make. So
Hmm.
it's like, no matter what you got going, it's just this is the time where it's time to say, hey, whatever I had going before this opportunity has to stay before this opportunity and
Mm.
let this be my after. You feel me? After that opportunity, after now that you got this opportunity in front of you, is no more of the shit previously because that wasn't getting you $250 million. But
Not at
this
all.
this opportunity did. You know what I mean? So and will continue to if you allow it to.
Hmm.
That one thing about sports, they love a good comeback story, right? They love a good um oh yeah, learning experience, got criticized, came back, philanthropist, activist in the community, change person, trying to guide the new youth into the right direction type shit. So he's definitely a lane to be paved for one to be etched out. I mean, shit, look at AI. Yeah, similar shit with AI. They ain't had no guns, so to speak, but shit, they looked at him in a certain light when he was in college. I want to say they had the little incident or whatever at the what was it? They had the incident at the bowling alley, was it, or little game, whatever?
Hmm.
And they tried to paint a certain light on AI them lens, but like I say, he came out on it as the loved, figure that he is. So it's a
Right.
lot of hope for him.
Yep. And shout out to John Thompson, who had a lot to do with
Yeah,
AI cultivating and becoming, an NBA player.
no doubt. He said that he spoke on it himself, so
Hmm.
look to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I watched, and not to just flip all around, but one thing, you know, corresponds with another. But we talking about NBA, we talking about March Madness and college basketball, and the maturation. You have a lot of these guys that come in, small guy syndrome. You know what I mean? AI, Ja, and definitely AI for the culture of NBA changed the culture. He went against the grain in every sense of the word, from practice. What are we talking about? Practice, you know, to
Right.
to his style of play on the game, how he dressed, and even how the referees was at his head. You know,
Yes, sir.
so a matter of fact, while we're still on job, I saw something on social media, and shout out to I think it's the Very Blunt podcast. He made a comparison with Derrick Rose and Ja, and in this article that he posted, it was saying injury-free D Rose was a player that probably would have eclipsed where Ja is headed. What is your opinion, the D Rose Ja comparison?
I think it's about as fair of a comparison as you can make as far as a comp. Um, I don't think any two compare better than those when you're trying to compare something to it.
Hmm.
Um, I don't necessarily agree with Derrick Rose would have eclipsed everything Ja's doing. Um, I don't. I feel like Ja and Derrick Rose are very similar, but the one thing that I feel I like that Ja has showed me that he could really be one of them ones is the effort he made into improving his jump shot.
Hmm.
Uh, not that Derrick Rose didn't, but we saw that a little bit later with Derrick Rose. Um,
Hmm. When he slowed up.
right when he slowed up, Josh still is above the rim, flying, but you seeing clear improvement in his jump shot already. If he keeps on his trajectory of showing those type of efforts early, hey, who knows? Who knows what Josh still has potential to be one of the greatest we ever seen, and that's what people got to understand. Um, Whatever Jerry Rose trajectory was, yes, he was on pace to be one of the greats as well, but that that chips kind of came and gone. So I don't feel like either one was head and neck above either other. I do think they're like an equal as far as like early greatness, maybe a slight edge to Derrick Rose simply because of the MVP. But you could easily argue Ja had an MVP season of his own already. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Maybe not winning it, but uh, definitely damn what second or third in voting, I believe
Hmm.
that year. So, um, and neither one of them got a championship yet. But Ja being just what 22, I believe,
Hmm.
it's still so much more to see and so much more that we'll be able to know um, in the years to come, or even the seasons. This season, well, depending on how fast he comes back this year, because it's been already reported that Colorado police won't be making no charges.
Hmm.
Um, what I'm saying, they investigated it, and you is a free carry state in Colorado, so it wasn't no law broke there. So he not facing no real legal issues. And as I said earlier, they say he's gonna be away from the team for at least 4 more games. So we'll see.
Indeed. Now, speaking of MVPs and MVP status, we had a a humdinger. We had a few games Sunday. You know, I'm trying to use the older analysts some of the words that they use. It was a humdinger,
Yeah,
but
real
we
good.
had I for the first time in a long time, I actually sat down and took in three whole NBA games. And it happened this Sunday. You know, we sparked the grill up, threw some lobster tails on, and the
Right.
whole day of it, we watched as a family. My mom, my dad, me, the grandbaby, you know, she was dunking, doing reverse dunks, trying to take the attention from the screen.
I'm trying to tell you, you got a little ball on your hand.
You see that baseline reverse dunk she did?
Oh, I seen her come down like Jordan on the baseline.
Man. But yeah, it was a family affair, and you know we're a basketball family because I'm a basketball baby. You know,
No
uh,
doubt.
I came from my mom being a college basketball fan and going down to local college games, and she caught the eye of one of the stars on the team. Shout out to my pops, the Gannon Hall of Fame. The whole team went into the Hall of Fame, so shout out to my pops and the Gannon Golden Knights. Um, but yeah, even my mom, she was like, "Luca, nobody fouled you." Like, I mean, it's a fun experience when the whole family get involved. So we all basketball fans. Let me make that clear. And I was born of basketball, so
No doubt.
I'm not the greatest basketballologist or any of that stuff, but I believe this for real. You
Oh,
know.
no doubt. And like I say, end of the day, this is all just our own opinions on these situations. You feel
Yeah, yeah. It's just like
me?
walking through a museum and
Mhm.
I like that painting. Oh, it's okay, but I like this painting over here. You
Yeah,
know, it's all opinion. You know.
like you say, it's just something we passionate about. Born into basketball. My daddy
Mm,
was born into basketball. My pops played basketball all in the army. So
mm-hmm.
it's It came out, hooped that man that was hooping all the way until he basically was a little bit hurt up and couldn't move as much. So,
Oh yeah, my dad blew his knees too.
shoot.
Uh,
He talked to me the other day, talking about, "Yep, son, I was thinking the other day, man, I need to get out here and shoot that ball some miles." I said, "Oh,
him,
that shoulder of yours gonna get the aching on you."
him and me both.
I know, right?
Uh, no doubt. And shout out to our fourth member of the podcast, Jay Rastic, Mr. Bangham. We're gonna
Oh,
we gonna
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna start with the Knicks game. Just for Bangham. We start with that Knicks Boston game that went into two overtimes. Now both of us are big fans of the Celtics. Even I'm a Rockets fan, but we
Right,
cheering on Tate Dog for sure. And
right.
he dropped 40, Horford dropped 20 in two overtimes. Let's break that game down.
Well, there you got it. You know, when you got everybody going tit for tat. First off,
Mhm.
tit for tat is one thing, but lately it hasn't been a lot of tit for tat with the Knicks because I gotta go and give them their props.
Mhm.
I said I was gonna do it, so let me do it. They went on a nice little run, man.
Yeah, the
Went
Knicks
on a
look.
nice little run. They look pretty goddamn good, bro.
Yeah, one of the hottest teams in the league. What is it? A 9 game streak?
They was on a 9 game streak. I want to say, let me make sure something. I want to say last because you know I be doing my sports betting and shit. So I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to see. I think last night they might have lost last night because I took the under and I ended up winning. No, not last night. Night before last. Night before last. No, they still they lost. They lost to the Hornets the night before last. So that was on. They lost Tuesday.
Okay. Okay.
But before that, yeah, it was like a 9 game win streak, bro. And
Mm-hmm. Randall dropped 31.
yes, sir.
Bear dropped 29.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
and this is Sunday. We talking about the
Sunday.
double overtime game with the Celtics.
hmm hmm Yeah, they like you said, bro. That's kind of they really was the beneficiary of some mental mistakes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it take a little bit of luck,
Mm-hmm.
and not just being biased, but I mean, let's just be real.
Mm-hmm.
If G will give us them free throws or a free throw, we talking a different type of situation. So
Mm-hmm. And
that
Tatum could have finished them with a layup that he missed.
he did, he could have as well. He could have definitely could have as well. Like I say, so that's like we say, that's all basketball. Like right now, what I love to see more than anything is that the Knicks are showing that they are a competitive team. Maybe what I'm saying. Some of these obnoxious Knick fans like Raz go ahead and come on up out of them shells they've been hiding in for the longest, man. Talk a little noise or something,
Yeah,
you
without
know.
a doubt. What I want to emphasize on Tatum's skills as a basketball fan, as a coach, as a player, when it comes down to them last ticks,
Yeah,
um, his distribution, you know what I mean? Tate is the man. But
yeah,
he found Horford in the corner who was hot. Horford, would he hit like 6 threes that game?
yeah. Man had
He
20
was
points, bro.
14 boards. So that type of distribution and belief in your teammates, like Horford, to hit it. So I'm gonna pass it to him. And unfortunately, he didn't. He wasn't successful in hitting that particular three. But it was a banger. That game
Mhm.
was a banger.
Yes, indeed, man. Like I say, I look forward to seeing the playoffs. You know me, I'm high on the real high on the Celtics. That's my championship pick.
Hmm.
Um, Definitely still real high on the trajectory of the Knicks. And you hate to say it, like I say, you don't want to give them too much credit, but I mean, look at the game they had. Quickly coming out there, showing out like that. You get R.J. Barrett. Come on, man. It was just like, yeah. I think three cats had 30, or Barrett was just shy of 30, and
Yeah, Barry had 29. Yeah.
yeah, just shy of 30 you had, and I know Quickly had 38, so he almost gave you a 40 ball. So
Hmm.
yeah, anytime you see that and you're able to win, Quickly have a career night like that, come out with a win in a tight game against a contender for the championship, I
Hmm.
go ahead and give New York they just do. Good win.
Right. And sometimes, as I was watching Quigley play, you look at young cats and be like, calm down, because the game ain't over. But
Hmm.
honestly, that spark that he gave was well needed. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Him stomping and going through, you know what I mean? They needed that type of spark because he did it with control and finesse.
Hmm.
Bag up, I'm finna make my cuts to the hole. Like he was very precise with what he did, and that was a great game. And his that was his high. Oh, that was his career high.
I want to say so. Let me check and you know what? It had. I mean, Quickly 38. Like it gotta be. If it ain't one, it's definitely two. Feel like that.
Yeah, I think that was his career high.
It
So,
gotta be. Yeah, ain't no way.
so definitely. Again, we want to shout out everybody who's tuned in on Facebook, everyone who's tuned in on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, like, let them know we out here. We the content kings, and you're on LFX Media podcast. And also, we can't forget our people on LFX Media Live, our own custom platform. Shout out to y'all too.
Shout out to the home base, man.
Yes, sir. We here in the H, throwing it up. So yeah, moving on to the next game. Speaking of MVPs again, let's go into that Phoenix Dallas game. You know, we thinking the winner is gonna come out of the East. And first of all, before we get into that game, let's get into the acquisitions and the movement from Brooklyn to Dallas, and you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Phoenix. Let's unwrap that before we get into the game.
So to speak on the trade itself, so much is like my personal views on it is look at the depth that was kind of gutted, right?
Gutted to the core.
so, so it's like, damn, like is the others, you feel me, going do what it take to consistently make this team, especially when you talk championship contentions. Now, of
Mm,
course, as we all know, in the playoffs, what do? They shrink the roster. You know what I'm saying? It becomes less about everybody else and more about your primary showing out. But in the end, it's always some type of shortcomings if you don't got a supporting cast that
mm,
knocks down the open shots you when they do scheme a way to try to get you out the game. Maybe
mm,
you are still effective in some ways, but you're still only human. So what you gonna do with all these bodies? Can everybody else stay healthy, right? Or is everybody? And if we find a way to maybe get Booker and KD, some type of defensive scheme to slow them up, what else do you got for real? You know
mm,
what I mean? Just question marks I got, but
mhm.
those are the only questions. Because if we just go to the top, that's that's lethal, bro.
What's the chances of Brooklyn recovering from this trade? You think
Um, let me let me see. Let me see.
they was given some tools that helped
They
them?
did, they
They
did.
were
I'm
they
trying to
were
be
given some
fair.
tools.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, bro.
Yeah, as far as trades, but the hopes that we had, and I'm saying uh pre beard, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Them building pre beard, you know. For me, that was too much personality on one court. Honestly, the beard, Kyrie, KD is too much, too many personalities.
I
But
agree, bro.
Kyrie and KD, of course, they made the move and probably was talking ahead of it, like I'm going over here, you gonna go over here too, like that in that
Hmm.
type of time. And then for it to unfold the way it did, it was kind of disappointing because
Yeah.
I cheer for Kyrie. You know, he's
Yeah.
one of the most dynamic guards that I've seen uh,
Mhm.
as of lately. And
Oh yeah. And I was arguing with said what bro said. Uh,
hmm
he was, you know, asking me how I felt about Kyrie.
shout
And
out to good brother said.
good brother said, man, shout out to good brother said. He he actually out there in LA right now. They got some work he getting done out there in LA. So yeah, it's all good. But yeah, good. I say, bro, why you mad at me? The fact that I feel Kyrie is a one of the best all around offensive weapons um ever to play the game. And he was like, "Oh, what about this one and that one?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm not saying that Kobe and Jordan, these wasn't lethal pieces. I'm not saying that. I'm saying who you think is the shiftiest of all of them three though. Like if you're a defender and you talking about a shot, because that's what he had asked me that question, a shot. I was like, bro, I might go Kyrie, you know, if we talking one shot, because he got everything. Like it's really not nothing that he can't do on the, what I mean, on the offensive side. He'll finish right over you. We see it all the time. Chop you down. We see him blow right past you. You more scared of his crossover than just about anybody else that you're gonna
Mhm.
put up in that category. So if you gotta respect that, you gotta respect the three. You know he finishes at the rim like great art. How that boy finish at the cup.
Mhm.
English off the glass, rotation off the rim. Um, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So I say, bro. I mean, I'm not mad at you if you would take others. I'm not. I just said I might. I might take Kyrie. I just might take Kyrie. So just speaking on that to say, I that's how highly I feel about that piece. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they lost that. Now you look in Brooklyn. They
Mhm.
still got a piece. So this is me trying to answer your question about do I feel they can recover? Um, you still got a guy over there making noise, and that's why I say I wasn't gonna try to dismiss him. I tried not to dismiss him so early because Mikal Bridges. What do we think about him, bro?
Mm.
Like what do we got for real? Uh, we
He
we
dropped bombs too from the tray.
bro like been getting buckets. And we know he was just defensive player of the year candidate, top two candidate for defensive player of the year. So
Mhm.
we definitely have to now bring him into the conversation as one of the best two ways in the game. So when you got that, you got they got Dinwiddie over there. We're gonna see what that look
Mhm.
like. What else they got? I think they ended up getting Cameron Johnson, the young shooter.
Right.
So you got youth there. Um, I know Claxton over there. I don't know how long. I don't know how you feel about Claxton. Uh, mm, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I guess it's more to be said, and he has to show it. You know,
That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
he has to show it. Yeah, I mean, he's there, and I'm not just not to dismiss him at all. And like he's just there, but
Yeah.
there's some things that he has to show us to be in the mentions.
Real deal. And somebody that we do gotta mention that needs to prove that he still needs to be mentioned is Ben Simmons. He's still over there lounging on the bench, ain't he?
Yeah, I thought you were about to say Blake Griffin. Uh,
Blake over there with Boston now, trying to get a
Yeah,
ring.
yeah, yeah.
He said Blake Griffin. No, I'm talking about old.
Yeah, Ben. Man,
Yeah, bro. Like he over there still. I know we don't. You know.
I, I think we deal with mental issues, and we need to address them because it's more than basketball that is going on with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than basketball. I mean, yeah, we got the $1 million ring issue. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we got too much going on mentally, but um, I'm I'm gonna speak like Charlemagne the God. Hey, mental awareness. We got to get to it. We got to take care of our minds. And the body will follow. But definitely, that game that we'll just go ahead and get into that game where KD dropped 37 points. The transition, and people were saying, no, KD is not the answer. Uh, he's not going to go over there and do anything more than he did anywhere else. And, it was refreshing to see KD over there and be impactful right off the bat.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect anything else, bro. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that's never been the issue with KD.
Mm-hmm.
I think that question is out there though, like you say, like folks they question him for some. I ain't gonna say for some reason they act like I don't understand why people may question certain decisions,
Mm-hmm.
which may reflect like how good are you really? I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but we can't really question it if you just watch them play. That's it. If you just watch it, it's not a debate. Talking
Mm-hmm.
7 feet damn near, coming off the dribble, elevating, shooting over the top of you like you don't exist. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are we talking about for real? It's not a question, you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm. Definite killer instincts.
oh yeah, I mean efficient as hell. You know what I mean? Super efficient to be a shooter, primarily just a shooter. Like it don't get much more efficient than him
Mm-hmm.
outside of the post. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Outside of being a postman. So, well, LeBron James, of course, a goat,
Right.
uh, but yeah, like so, I'm definitely excited to see what those pieces look like when they finish getting them all together and
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting it fine tuned and going into the playoffs. Getting to see maybe a potential clash between him and LeBron again in the playoffs. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
pretty dope idea.
Right.
Uh, Even though he'll probably be getting checked more by that young bull from the H Vanderbilt, which got the Lakers looking real good.
Mm-hmm.
Give my boy Brun and the Lakers a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they done figured it out.
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah.
done figured it out.
And while we on this particular game, shout out to Woods who came from the H, bro.
Oh yeah, Christian Woods.
Hated to see him leave the city, bro. But we both discussed like there's greater things out there for him to be in the mix right now, as
Right.
opposed to building with the Rockets.
Right. If he had chose to come that route with it, you talking about having to be a little more patient than I think he probably would have been producing and giving the numbers that he was giving. He was like a 2010 cat, guaranteed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
still is like a pretty much. That's kind of what you can around that area pencil him in for if you get the looks.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 20 and 10 cat.
Drop
So
a love on him.
yeah, no doubt.
Kevin Love on him.
So it's definitely something to behold.
Booker, he dropped 36 with 5 boards and 10 assists, and got in Luca face. I
You
like that.
gotta
I
love
like
that.
that kind of ball. Don't
You
back
gotta
down.
love that. You gotta love it, and you know they gonna see each other. Uh,
hmm
they young, and that's why I say we got all of these top 10 under 30. you know,
Mm-hmm.
and lists like that. You know, it's these is two of the highest rated youngsters, you know, in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and they are accompanied by two of the most polarizing vets in
Mm-hmm.
the game, who actually are former teammates. So this story really can't get no better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for them to be able to battle it out on a playoff platform
Mm-hmm.
with real chips on the line, and you get to see KD go at Kyrie, kind of classic battle right there, and then you
Mm-hmm.
get to see um, the the new generation battle between the young Bulls, Luca and Book.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love it.
And something else that I love about this new NBA, we kind of returning to the big man a little bit. You know, Aiton has 16 boards. You know, he's one of my favorite big guys in the league.
No doubt.
You know, that's important. You know, Luca had 9 boards, 34 points, and 4 assists. But with this, you know, rebounding and where do you put Dallas at defensively?
uh,
Because I mean, hey, we discussed when the trade was made, like, okay, between these two players, they're going to score 100. Between these two guys, they're going to score 100. Where do you put Dallas at defensively? Because defense is important. I mean, uh, when you facing the
you there, bro? If you're not there, brother, I'm gonna wait for you to get back in here,
it's going to come. It's
and
going
I'm
to
gonna
come.
answer your question because
Uh-huh.
are you
Go ahead.
back?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I say what I'm gonna do is do you one better because that's a hilarious question, but you know, because of how we be talking about 'em. I'm going to tell you what the internet, what the rankings say about them. How about it? Before,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't seem like I'm just trying to slander. Um, I'm not trying to be the one that they say that on. You know, my Dallas partners be like thinking I'm hating.
Mm-hmm.
That just ain't the case. All right, so let's see where
Yeah.
they rate them at.
Right. Shout
What
out
is
Fort Worth and all them guys.
yeah, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Mad love. You did
Mm-hmm.
okay. So, oh no, that's fantasy. I don't care about fantasy, man. I want to know real defensive ratings, G, because we need to see what the league say. You know what I'm saying? Not Antho. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not not what I
People,
say.
hey, Jay said people lie, numbers don't.
You know, I don't want that. You know.
Let's get the numbers. Let's get the numbers up on the
Let's
score.
see. Okay, so we got Dallas coming in at around middle of the pack defense.
Mm-hmm.
See, they got them at around what 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know, team rankings. Is this right? I'm right. Cool. Oh no, ranks, stat for ranks. Okay, yeah. And what they giving up per game? Yeah, about 113. So not bad. You know, it's not the highest, not
Mm-hmm.
the lowest. So that's what the league puts them at, about middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack, which Luca, um, the player, the player that he is. People MVP and better than Larry Bird and all of these phrases that get thrown out. But are you gonna play defense? That's what I want to hear.
I mean, I always tell folks this. I never believed in the Brooklyn Nets after they got rid of their depth. When
Mm-hmm.
Harden came, um, only because of the defensive issues that I knew was gonna follow. Um, I had to back out on that. I had to sell all my stock, all of my stock in Brooklyn after that point because I knew if you can't stop a nosebleed, it ain't no way. Ain't no championship team. Think they were like 20th in defense or something at the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and they wasn't super. It wasn't like extremely competent defensively before, but they
Mm-hmm.
was definitely adequate. You
Right.
had Allen down low. You know what I'm saying? You had Prince, Torian Prince. You got real solid pieces around.
Mm-hmm.
But when you give up all of that depth and all you get back is more shooters,
Mm-hmm.
it's no balance. It's the same issue that we always spoke on with the Lakers before the recent trades and acquisitions was I don't care about the names, you know. I'm looking for fit. Basketball is about fit when you talk about championships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love to see the best of the best guards going to the hole. I love to see these guys heat up from three, but I love just as much to see like Smart with some clamp down defense, and Brown is no slouch in defense either. You know what I'm saying? And
We seen that last year. I mean, look, think about it. Brown, Smart, and Tatum were the primary defenders on Kyrie and KD in a playoff situation with both of them healthy, and all they did was sweep them.
that's it.
And that's all they did was sweep them.
Hmm.
And I feel
Yeah.
like I've been kind of rooting for Tatum. You know me, I've been a fan since college, so
Hmm.
rooting for Tatum all this time. And it's always, you know, of course, until you prove it, you just bubbling up. But imagine if he goes and wins a championship this year, what that's
Hmm.
going to do to his resume. Like, what you will really be looking at.
Hmm. And I hate that. I love to see guys get rings, but I hate the conversation always be um, who compiles the most rings. You know,
Right.
I hate for that to be the conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm guess currently um, Big Shot Ori in the lead. Am I right?
What he got? 9,
I think he got 7.
7? Yeah, 7. That's
He
right.
got
7.
7.
That's right.
Big
He got
Shot,
7.
Big Shot
That's
Ori. But you don't hear him in a lot of conversations. But he got more rings than anybody. But everybody revolves their conversations around players and best players and rings. You don't hear Big Shot Ori anywhere in the conversation.
that's just facts, bro.
So what are we talking about here?
That's definitely a strong point. It ain't no Robert Ory fans out here on the mountaintops.
Nah, no Big Shot Ori. Shout out to Facebook again. If you're watching from Facebook, comment. We're looking for your comments in Facebook and YouTube and our own custom platform, LFX Media Live, the content king.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So, what do you feel about the recent picks the Lakers made, bro? The recent move around. Like I said, I was never really too much caught up in the names when it was coming to the Lakers. I was more so with the getting folks that fit, that played into a style that just looked like real basketball. You know what I mean? So with what they got going now, I'm high on 'em. You know, I think there's a stat. I'm real high on all the pieces. Vanderbilt, Brown. I mean, Reeves just continues to look like a perfect fit with AD every time they touch the court together. So with him basically taking over as the de facto second facilitator now that the two primary facilitators are out, and he's
Mhm.
out there looking like he orchestrating the offense the way it needs to go. So,
Yeah.
and it being like all of that, I love it. What do you see it the same way? You think I'm a little high on him? What you think? Bring me down to earth, or let me know I'm where I need to be.
Oh nah, you definitely you you down here. I like to look at players and just not in see with me it's not a comparison of players of the past, but it's a standard. You feel
Hmm.
me? If you're
Hmm.
7 feet tall, I expect you to have 15 boards. Not every game, but a lot of games.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's bringing that level up. You know what I mean? I like to see that. You need to be on the boards. You need to be, when you talk about programs, when you talk about coaching, you talk about triangle offense. I like to get back to get the big man getting 3 and 4 touches when you come down the court, and people collapsing on him, opening the lanes up. Like that's old school basketball.
Hmm.
I think our kids is starting to, well, not starting to, been into the game. 2K, what they do, pulling up. You know what I mean?
Right,
I wait
right.
for the ball at the top of the key. Nah, you 7 feet tall, bro. I need you to put an elbow on somebody's ribs, you know, spin on somebody,
Yeah,
throw it down. I need to see that kind of stuff, you know.
yeah. And it's like I'm never against having a well-rounded big man game. Like I say, Joel Embiid, I feel is a perfect example. He
Hmm.
can go on the block. Sometimes he may get a little too lax and get on the perimeter, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But when you know you got a size advantage, get you some post up game, maybe some back to the basket game.
Hmm.
Get into your LeBron bag. Like when LeBron shot off and he see he got a size advantage, he not quite 7 foot, but he weigh as much as some of them. So he come down, hit you with a power move, spin off of you, create some space. Like that's stuff that you gotta have that in your bag. Because like I say in the playoffs, they're gonna try to take away certain stuff, and then it's just gonna be will, you right? Like who gonna wield open a shot? Who gonna wield in these jump shots? Who gonna wield in these dribble
Yeah,
drives?
definitely.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I definitely got a little parlay. I got not a really a parlay. I got me something in for tonight on the games too.
Lovely, lovely. Let's get paid.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trying to run up a little bag on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
So that final uh Lakers 113 over Golden State 105. How strong of a performance would you say that the Lakers gave? When we mentioned in absence of the two providers.
Um, I think it was a great show of what they still are capable of, and it kind of show what I talk about when I say the reason, like we spoke on earlier,
Hmm.
fit and depth. You know,
Hmm.
I think that is with the mad dash to go collect a whole bunch of superstars that we see today. I
Hmm.
think we people start to miss that that's still a major key to building a true championship contender. Is going to be, can you get an accumulation of fitting pieces more so than big name pieces. And
Hmm.
that's what I feel that win showed more than anything when you know, go out there, like I say, Reeves contributing, um, everybody out there playing contributing basketball, complimentary basketball, making their shots, even some folks that wasn't making them, not hurting the team. You know what I mean? Just still fitting into the scheme of the game so that in the end you still giving your team a chance to win, which is
Hmm.
where we always kind of had our falling outs with Russ. Not that you missing, but the way you missing it and the turnovers that you're doing with it is not leaving it is really was taken away from the overall effectiveness of the team.
Hmm.
And now you see better decision making, um, better shot making, defense, effort plays,
Hmm.
smart plays. Like they got some pieces out there that's ready to work and they fit and they're showing.
Hmm. Yeah, we need that production from AD. Um, we need we really need 30 and 15 from AD.
Yeah, I feel like he got the memo. I
Mm.
think especially right now with the uncertainty surrounding the king, he understand like, hey, if you're gonna give yourself any type of shot, and I say do one better, AD, and go make a lot of noise with even with or without Brun. Go make some noise.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, that's what you gotta be thinking. You can't be thinking your career finna be over in about 2-3 years.
No.
Brun can start debating that. You should be debating when Brun leave. It's just gonna be about whomever else I got with me riding this wave to get this chip by any means type shit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That gotta be the mindset he has. If he come
Yeah.
on with it and come with that mindset, he can be all right.
Yes, sir. Braun can easily postseason make an announcement and say I'm done, and people be pleasantly pleased with the performance he's given us over the decades. You know.
No anger in my heart.
Hmm. Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Yep. So we covered those three games. We looking for 80 to bring it to us. You know, um, that fourth game, which I didn't see, uh, Memphis and the Clippers. Paul George dropped 42 in that game. Did you see any of that game?
I didn't get to check that one out, bro. I think I was on that wholesaling at the time, but
Yeah,
yeah,
multiple streams, multiple.
oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, but I definitely gotta go back and see how he got into that because I saw that. I saw
Hmm.
that afterwards that he got active on their ass the other night.
Yeah, but yeah, it was pleasantly pleasing. Three wonderful games that I got to see, and at times that you'd be like, forget the league. It's too much going on. It's political undertones and favoritisms and you know bad coaching decisions, a lot of stuff. But I think the NBA action is back. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoy it, bro.
I'm
I
tapped.
do enjoy it.
I'm tapped in. I'm tuned in, and we definitely got to mention some of the college stuff that's going on. Just because it's March,
You already know.
it's getting mad, and anybody who is a big fan, we're hosting the Final Four down here in Houston. Come on down and check us out. You know, we might be parting from 80 Sports. You know, Andre Johnson's spot. So stay tuned for that. It's heating up. We ain't gonna talk a lot about March Madness, but we did at least just want to touch on it. We're doing a whole bracketology podcast
Yes, indeed. The bracketology pod coming as soon as they come with theirs. When we start releasing them, it's a round release. We gonna hit ours and let y'all see what we think, how it's gonna shape up, how it's gonna all play out, and maybe even see if y'all shoot some of y'all's in there. Let us know what y'all feel about it.
Yeah, I have never won anything put my bracket in any competitions because that's how mad it be, you know.
Yeah, it's truly madness.
And I love the underdogs, you know.
Yeah, that'd be my weakness too, bro.
Hmm the Zags come mess up, you know, because you be thinking, oh, the Zags this year is going to be the Zags year, and you know, not so. But we hoping that it's the Cougars year. You know, we taking it back to
Better
the
believe.
last. Yeah, it's been what 34 years.
Five slammer.
Five Slammer Jammer, Clyde Drexler, Ricky Winslow, Andrew Young, and of course Hakeem the Dream Elijah one. Yeah, and I had the pleasure when I first got to meet
Oh, you cut out on this, bro? Yes, sir. Definitely looking for that though.
hmm
Trying to get that dub for the city.
yeah, yeah. And it's not just favoritism, you know. They actually the favors.
Yeah. So
It's not us speaking from Houston, you know. They are favored to take it, and that's what we looking for. Go
no
Cool.
doubt. Go Cougs.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we got the NBA, we got the you know, look forward. When we gonna drop that bracketology on them?
We're gonna probably chop it up. Probably tonight, man. You would chop it up. We'll probably he'll say it up, chop it up with him and see what we think we're gonna do, man. See around the time, really get to see how some of these final games match up, who wins some of these conferences, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll kind of lead us to our own conclusions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll definitely have it coming soon. It's March, baby, so it ain't gonna be long.
We was talking outside of the pod, and you know, I mentioned Duke without even thinking that Coach K is no longer here. And I'm like, yeah, Duke always gonna be in it. You know, it's all about coach, and then just so used to Coach K being there. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That was when I was gaming. That was one of my favorite games, Coach K.
Yeah, man. Like I say, I always said if my son played college basketball and there was something he wanted to pursue,
Mm-hmm.
that that's all I was on.
Mm-hmm.
Was allowing him to, you know, if it was a choice,
Right.
go holler at Coach K, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
he just always seemed had the boys come up out of there with a sound understanding of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And
Like
uh,
Shane GA and things of that nature, who never was physically just like, oh, look at that athlete type shit. You know what I mean? It was just like, and not the snub batty athleticism either, but
no, not one bit.
yeah, but we understood like that was just a sound basketball player.
And it's a solid school. You're not gonna find no dummies in Duke. They standards and they placement for you to even get into school. Like it's a
Mhm.
great school. As is Georgetown. Georgetown is one of the best law schools on the East Coast.
Oh yeah, but you know, fortunately now with our own state city school getting as good as it's getting, if my son ever wanted to hoop, I would tell him go on right up the street.
Mm-hmm.
Quality school, uber quality
Yeah.
basketball,
Yeah, it's a great school.
no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Definitely. So we coming to the end of our hour of power. Talking heavy on the NBA, a little light on March Madness, but we're looking forward to that. You know, I got a lot of people coming down from up top. We're gonna show them the town. We're gonna have a good time for March Madness, the 31st through the 4th. You know, we'll be hosting. Me and Antho probably be podcasting somewhere. Stay tuned and check us out. You know, we'll pop up anywhere. because we're the content kings.
For sure, just to make sure everybody know, Bron the goat, and also be on the lookout for the more Good Brother Sports Pods. We definitely still working on getting some Rockets content. Hopefully, we can be right there sideline when we get Women Yama or Wimby.
For real. For real.
We could be right in the space, take you right downtown, and get you some first reactions of the city when they find out that we getting old Wimby coming.
Yeah, we might be sitting at the Breakfast Club getting some of them chicken and waffles and just
Uh,
pod live.
Sound like a plan, bro.
Yes, sir.
Definitely a plan. So y'all stay tuned for that for sure.
Absolutely. So I'm your host, Project Carter, with my co-host.
And though the grade grow
Yeah,
with though.
grow with though. We definitely we appreciate you guys coming out. And if you didn't know, now you know. We will see you on the next show. One.
Much love.